In the year 2000, steps were taken to formulate a service constitution for the State Audit Service with the aim of streamlining the work of the Auditor General's Department to achieve productivity and efficiency. Thereby, the then Secretary to the President appointed a single-member committee for this purpose. Making its recommendations in 2007, the committee pointed out that the Sri Lanka Audit Service and the Sri Lanka Audit Examiner Service be merged together and the respective tasks to be decentralized. However, the Sri Lanka Audit Services Union, which included some of the top brass at the Auditor General's Department, refused to accept the recommendations made to merge the services. Despite this objection, the then Auditor General obtained permission to expand the staff at the Auditor General's Department based on the recommendations made by this committee. Thereby, permission was obtained to create new positions at the Auditor General's Department for 2 additional Auditor Generals, 7 Deputy Auditor Generals, 30 Assistant Auditor Generals, 70 Superintendents of Audits and 121 Grade 1 and 2 Audit Examiners. Though the list of the approved cadre was released by the Department of Management Services after the current Auditor General took office, the current Auditor General took steps to pass a services constitution for the Sri Lanka Audit Service alone rather than for a merged service. This attempt was made futile after the Secretary to the Auditor General intervened. Later, the Secretary to the Auditor General appointed a committee, and its recommendation was that the Sri Lanka Audit Service and the Audit Examiner Service be merged and renamed as the State Audit Service, and the Services Constitution be established for the State Audit Service. What needs to be done now is for Cabinet approval to be sought for the Sri Lanka State Audit Services Constitution. The cadre for this service should be the cadre that was approved by the Department of Management Services in 2007 as requested by the then Auditor General. However, the current Auditor General has taken measures to obtain approval for a separate cadre. This measure was not taken with the aim of making the work for the Auditor General's Department more productive and more efficient, but to grant promotions to some of the top brass at the department. Surprisingly, 3 positions for additional Auditor Generals are to be created rather than the 2 positions that were approved. Furthermore, 8 new Deputy Auditor Generals are to be appointed in addition to the 7 positions that were approved. Moreover, interviews have already been called for the 30 new positions created for Assistant Auditor General. This is a letter calling for the interview. Who granted the powers to the Auditor General to call for interviews for these positions before it was announced via a Gazette notification and even before the Cabinet has approved the Services Constitution? Can the creation of 2 new positions made to please individuals and turning a blind eye to additional expenditure that the department has to bear be justified? Audit Secretary, this is over to you.